practice tonight. I do hope y'all are having a fantastic evening so far. If you don't know who I am, my name's Kylie Neal. I'll be taking you through all the way up until 11 p.m. tonight. But I'm not alone here on the desk tonight. We do have a guest joining us here tonight, and you might know who he is. You might have seen him in some interviews before on maybe even our newscast with Michael Coleman. But it's going to be Coach David, is it Kaiser?
Kaiser.
I thought I would say it correctly. I'm spot on tonight, guys. I'm doing really good. He is the UT Tyler head coach for cross country and track and field.
That's correct.
Welcome in here tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Of course. Well, I'm so glad that we get to talk here tonight because not only am I a sports enthusiast as well, love to talk shop about sports, but we get to know you a little bit more because it's not just championships, records, and building one of the top programs in East Texas, but it's also about what you do outside of the sport. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Well, I don't do a whole lot outside of the sport, but yeah, I'm a Western Kansas kid that grew up, went to the University of Kansas, and got sucked into the coaching profession, as a sophomore in college, and it certainly wasn't something that I pursued necessarily, but kind of fell into, and 30 some years later, we're still at it. We're still trying to build things.
Well, tell me a little bit more about how you usually introduce yourself, because when you're on the field, it's coach, right? But when you're off the field, what do you say to people? You say it's Coach Kaiser?
If I'm recruiting, it's Coach Kaiser, and I encourage our kids to call me Coach K or Coach Kaiser. I tend to not use my first name a whole lot around practice. But yeah, I just whatever people feel comfortable calling me, that's what we kind of go with. And we're in the sport that I'm dealing with. We're dealing with young people, young adults, so I let them kind of choose, and as long as it's respectful.
All right. Well, if someone who knows nothing about your job was going to ask you a few questions about college athletics and said, "What exactly do you do?" How would you explain that?
Yeah, so it's certainly multifaceted, as you can coaching, especially at this level, is not just about coaching the physical part of the game and the X's and O's. It's a lot deeper than that. It's the recruiting, it's budgeting, it's dealing with facility contracts. It's we're lucky that at our level that we're not dealing with a whole lot of NIL kind of stuff like that, but it's still budgets and equipment and all that kind of stuff. So I really enjoy the opportunities I have when we get to go to practice and it's just me and the kids. Spending time together and building that relationship.
Yeah, no, definitely means a lot more. When people think about head coach as a title, they probably picture practices, meets, and all kinds of things, like meetings, watching film, that sort of thing. What exactly do you think that people don't realize is the big part of being a head coach?
I think that probably the bigger thing is just understanding that it's not just the physical part of writing workouts and making kids run and turning left. It's dealing with the mental health side of stuff that we deal with now. It's all that stuff. It's about building relationships and getting kids to do things that maybe they don't really want to do. But I tell kids as part of as part of our program, it's like I try to tell them that I will not be mom and dad when you're away at college.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to be the closest thing you have to it. And so I want them to feel comfortable knowing that if something comes up that it's a safe space that you can come and talk to us and our staff will help you through this growing process.
Now that's awesome. And I bet a lot of parents who ship their kids off to school, right, are so comforted by that feeling that their coach is like, hey, I got them. They're my family now.
I hope so. I mean, my wife and I actually moved houses in part because we wanted to be closer to the kids, so the kids could get to our house if they needed to for some time away and some decompressing. And we've had kids that have come and hung out in our house and played with our dog just to get away for a little while. So
I love that.
So it's more than just the X's and O's of trying to get a kid fit to be able to run fast or jump far. It's about having those relationships.
That's so cool. I love that. That just warms my heart at 10:40 at night. All right. If we followed you around with a camera for a day, what would we be surprised with?
Probably how little I eat.
Really?
Yep. Probably how little I sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the go constantly. basically because of our practice schedules and when kids are available, we have to make ourselves available to when they're available. So yeah, I mean, we start, my training day starts at 7 o'clock in the morning and it ends around 8 o'clock at night. And we have 3 or 4 different training groups during that time. And yeah, and we do it 6 days a week.
Do you ever find yourself like snacking while you're working? Because I feel like if you were going to be in the weight room at 7 a.m. or be on the track at 7 a.m., you might want to, carry around like a yogurt or something, like a snack, like a little protein bar.
I'm not a protein bar fan, but I do hit the fruit and yogurt. And then for something I grew up with, salted peanuts in Pepsi.
Ooh, okay.
Gets me through.
That's an interesting combination.
Yep. Put the peanuts in the soda, and the salt and the sugar kind of mix really nice.
I feel like that would give me acid reflux.
Maybe so.
I don't know. I'll have to try that. Peanuts, Pepsi.
Yeah, it'll get you through the day.
It's an interesting combination. I'll have to try that. I'll get back to you guys on that.
Yep.
Well, how did track and field first become a part of your life?
I probably, like everybody that's involved in sports at this level, I started racing when I was probably 8 through the AAU system and kind of came my way up through high school, and I had an opportunity to run in college, and I did the junior college thing for a year and then transferred to my alma mater where, I tried to run, and I was told very quickly that I wasn't fast enough to run in the Big 8 back then, and so I slid into the coaching side of it. And
That's
it's just always been part of what I've done.
That's so cool. Well, at what point did you realize, hey, this is not just something that I enjoy, this is my career?
I'm not really sure, honestly, if I've ever got to that point.
Okay. You just still enjoy it? It's just fun for you?
Yeah, I just don't feel like it's a job. It's like I'm
awesome.
very fortunate that since the age of probably 19 or 20, I've never really had to have a job. I get to go and hang out with young people every day and try to convince them why we're a good fit for them. So yeah, I've never really felt like it's been much of a job, to be quite honest.
Well, what moment did you realize UT Tyler was where you wanted to be?
Well, interesting that I actually applied for this job a year before I got it, and didn't even get an interview. And yeah, you know what? I was transitioning. My family was transitioning. Our daughters had just finished up high school, and I was working as a high school athletic director. My wife was employed by the school as well. And we get a phone call one day, and it's UT Tyler asking if I would be interested in the head job. And so I came down and interviewed with Dr. Patterson, and it was pretty quick after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but Michigan in the winter is no joke. So when we had a chance to pack up and move south into one of the best track states in the country, and we got warm weather, yeah, it was a pretty easy choice.
All right, well, Coach K, I got a question for you. When you leave campus and coaching is done for the day, what is something that you have to do that you enjoy?
I go to Sonic and get me a cranberry slush with mango.
Why mango?
I don't know. One of the girls recommended it, and it's fantastic.
Interesting.
Yep.
A slush with mango.
Yep. Huh. And that's pretty much what I do. I finish up and I go home.
Is it, you said strawberry slush?
Cranberry.
Cranberry. It's got to be cranberry, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I wonder what's so special about those flavors.
I think it's the fact that the cranberry is fairly tart and the mango is very sweet.
Interesting.
So it creates a nice little blend.
Interesting. So he has to get that. Okay. All right. So healthy yogurt snack, but then we go for the Sonic cranberry and mango slush. Coach, what is going on?
It creates a nice balance.
Okay.
It creates a nice balance.
All right. Eats less so he can save up for the slush. Got it. How do you unplug from the demands of coaching every day?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not very good at that, to be quite honest. I go home and I watch TV for a little while and I go to sleep and then we start it all over. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of side hustle. I don't really play golf. So yeah, I'm pretty entrenched in what I do.
Well, I think
that's what I love to do.
I think what a lot of people can kind of go back and forth with is it's not just sports, it could be your job too. So if you're sitting at home and you're like, man, I have never coached before in my life, this still applies to you. It can apply to anybody. But being that you're going all day long, sometimes you can just never turn it off in your mind. Do you feel that way whenever you get home from sports? I know your wife is sitting next to you going, yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I mean, if we're not practicing or traveling for trips and stuff, I do love my college football, and there's nothing better than March Madness. But I just spent the entire weekend watching the NCAA Division I track and field championships, and then the next day I watched the LA Grand Prix. So,
Yeah.
if I'm not
Sports
coaching
is
track,
there. It's always going to be there.
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, well, what if your athletes actually saw a perfect Saturday with you, with no obligations? What would you and your team be doing besides practice?
It's interesting. Once in a while, we'll get together and we'll have a lake day.
Nice.
So we'll go out to Ford Lake and we drag the barbecue grills out there, especially early in the season when the kids don't really know each other. So we'll do that. We before our team got much bigger, we used to have the kids over to the house for spaghetti dinners and stuff like that, which I'm hoping we'll get a chance to do more of this year. But just having a chance to kind of hang out. And I will also say that when we're not practicing on Saturdays, I think the kids really enjoy not being with me. So I think they enjoy that.
You think that they run far, far, far away from Coach K?
I don't think they run, but I think they walk fast.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a feeling they're going to watch this and be like, yeah, we absolutely, we
100%.
walk really fast, Coach K.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, well, what's something that we would be surprised to learn about you, Coach?
I think most people are surprised when they find out that my athletic career, I got recruited to play football in college and chose not to go that route. But I went to college as a middle distance runner and kind of finished up playing around with the decathlon. And I don't think most people would know that about me. So.
All right. Well, your athletes know Coach K. Your colleagues know the program builder. Your family and friends know a different side of you. How would they describe you?
Wow, that's a good question. I'm hoping that they'll say that I'm someone that cares about other people, that is pretty even-tempered. I don't tend to get worked up about too much stuff. So I hope, at the end of the day that's what they think. And I'm somebody that cares about other people and want to see the best for them. So.
Well, as a former athlete, I know that there's a lot of stressors in between, team, school, and also just kind of being with each other all day long.
Yeah.
How do you handle, being a team and the stressors of not only just school, but being away from their family as well?
Yeah, I try really hard to try to make as collective as a group as possible. I try very hard not to use the term family too much because every kid's home life is different, right? So for some people, family is not a great positive thing. But we do try to make sure that when it's track and field time, it's track and field time. And when that time is over, it's over. I don't want their identity to be wrapped up in what they do on the track. I want it to be wrapped up in who they are as far as what kind of friend they want to be, what kind of teammate they want to be, what kind of student they want to be. Because the harsh reality is that, at least in our sport, I don't have a single kid on my team that's going to probably make an Olympic team. Not yet. So we have to be really, really good at the other stuff. We can be good at track too, but we want to be really good at the other stuff. And I really think that the quality of person that we turn out of our program is way more important than what we do on the track.
Would you say that is just one part of something that matters most to you outside of wins and losses?
100%. 100%. I tell our kids, throughout the years, like, we have a lot of plaques on the wall. We have a lot of All-American certificates on the wall now, and all that stuff will fade over time. All the medals that they have, hopefully their kids will play with one day, and they can reminisce about their time in college. But at the end of the day, it's about the kind of person that you want to be and what kind of mentor you want to be for other people, whether it's in the workplace or whatever. And hopefully the commitment, the hard work that they're doing on the track carries over into their, how committed they are to their own family, how committed they're going to be to their job. That's the stuff that's the most important, and that's the stuff that'll carry on.
That's awesome. Well, when people look back on your career someday, what do you hope that they remember most?
Well, I love the fact that I think over the course of my career, I've been able to build programs. So I hope that's part of it, that I'm somebody that comes in with a game plan. It's just not by happenstance. But at the end of the day, again, it just comes down to, he's a good guy who did it the right way. I don't buy into a lot of the NCAA stuff that's going on right now. I'm good with developing young people, and at the if that's what it ends up being, then that's what it ends up being.
One last question before we go. Let's talk a little bit more about a chapter of your story. that you will never forget? What chapter would it be?
I think I don't know. I think it's yet to be written, to be quite honest. Somebody asked me about this past season, which we were very, very fortunate to have a really strong year. And, I just told them, I said, it's a chapter that I will probably bookmark, that I can come back 2 years from now. But I think we have a lot that we can still do here at UT Tyler. I think we've only started the process. So it's going to be really cool to build a program that's going to sustain the test of time long after I'm gone. And that's ultimately the chapter that I want to be able to leave is, I can look back when I'm 75, 80 or whatever and know that it's still going and I'm not there.
Awesome.
So,
all right. Well, Coach K, always great to have you on with us. I know Michael Coleman's going to be very jealous he's not here. But I will give him kind of a heads up, like, hey, you will never guess who we interviewed. And for everybody else that wants to know more information, you can head on over to our website. We'll have this up either later tonight or tomorrow. Coach K, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on our show, and I'm sure we'll see you around, and good luck in the future with your team.
I appreciate it. Keep watching.
All right. All right, we're going to take you guys over here to your time machine. Stick with me.
Check this. First, you need to figure out where you're going to form this thing.
For Ruth Flynn, director of the Tyler Junior College Apache Bells, the job is 24/7/12.
This thing that I do never stops. We're always to the next project.
If it's not practicing and performing for football games, it's getting ready for the big spring show.
They get a little bit of taste of what a big production is, and then they get to be a part of a big production.
The 50 to 60 young women who make the Apache Bell team each year perform before thousands at football games, on stages, and in parades. The Bells are performed at Dallas Cowboy games, at presidential inaugurations, Super Bowls, and in foreign countries. Ruth became director of the Apache Bells in 1984. But her initiation into this special art form, born right here in East Texas, began when she went from an ARP high school baton twirler to a Kilgore Rangerette.
That's me. The twirling gave me a lot of training in the precision because besides dancing, we were twirling.
Ruth says her 2 years as a Kilgore Rangerette changed her life and led her into her present position as director of the Apache Bells. Although Ruth had 5 small children at home at the time and an even bigger group of 18 and 19-year-olds at TJC, she took on her challenges with enthusiasm. This is the 25th year for Ruth, and it's special in many ways. One of the big ways is that she's just been inducted into the Texas Dance Educators Association Hall of Fame.
In my profession, it doesn't get any better than that. There's not really anything else that my peers could award me or say, job well done, more than what that award, that honor meant.
It's also a thrill for Ruth to be in the Hall of Fame with the greats, as she calls them, of precision dance.
Gussie Nail and Mildred Stringer and Al Gillum and, all those people that I learned from, I looked up to, I respected. And so to be part of that club now, it's great, it's wonderful.
Gussie Nell Davis, founder of the Kilgore Rangerettes and originator of halftime precision dance, along with the directors and choreographers who have helped perfect it, now are joined by Ruth Flynn, who brings her own special touch to this art form loved around the world. Until next time from Tyler, I'm Joan Hallmark.
All right, everybody. I did hope that y'all had a great time listening to our interview here on East Texas tonight on East Texas Now. We will see you guys here tomorrow starting at 7 a.m. right after Good Morning East Texas. Have a great night. We'll see you on a few with Weather Extra.